we're heading into is going to be Little Ituri Forest. Forest is the key word there. You got to keep a lookout for any animals anywhere. The patterns, the coats that they have, it helps them blend in well into their background. Well, first animal I can see all the way up to the right up on the hill there near the bamboo, that is going to be an okapi. Now, as you can clearly see, okapis have stripes on their hindquarters. Look like related to the zebra, but it's by their skeletal structure. We can see they're actually related to the giraffe. It's very similar, especially look at their head. It almost looks like the exact same as a giraffe's. It is nice to see the okapi out in the open like this. They're shine reclusive to the point they weren't discovered by the Western world until 1901. Up to the left, laying down in the brush up in that ridge up there, you can see a large Danish animal. It's going to be a greater kudu, one of the second tallest antelope in Africa. Female greater kudu because she doesn't have any horns. Coming up on the left here, the rust-colored animal laying down, that is a bongo, sometimes called ghost of the forest, because they can disappear in the backbrush quickly and quietly. Both male and female bongos have horns, and as you can see, the horns are slicked back. It helps them run through the jungle without getting caught. Coming up to a watering hole here, gathering place for animals. Let's be on the lookout for anything at all that might be coming down to get a drink. I already start to see something coming up ahead here. As I come around the bend here up to the right, might be able to see a large black white bird high up on the ridge amongst the brush. A little difficult to see. It is going to be a saddle-billed stork. Stands about 5 feet tall with a wingspan of about 8 to 9 feet. Coming up on the left, laying down right across the water there near the rock wall, that is going to be a black rhino. Black rhinos can run at about 35 miles an hour. They have a very thick hide. May seem indestructible, but they've been hit hard by poachers. Sadly, there's less than 5,000 black rhinos in existence. That's counting zoos and in the wild. That's not a lot. Now we're going to keep on moving through the brush, see if there's any other activity we can find. Not seeing too much of anything else. We've had some really good luck so far. We're going to be leaving Little Ituri Forest. We're going to be heading right into the Safi River. Been hearing reports of some hippos in the area, so let's go try and find some hippos. Keep a look out. We can't see any around here, that's fine. We can track up further upstream. Hippos do tend to spend most of their time in the water in order to keep themselves from getting overheated. They can hold their breath about 5 to 8 minutes at a time. Hippos can swim. They really just kind of prefer to walk along the bottom of the river. They bounce more than anything. They walk along the bottom, bounce up to get air, and go right back down. Yeah, there's one off underneath the water there to the right. Oh, there we go. Some of the left are a little bit easier to see. A group of hippos are called a bloat. This is a bloat of hippos here. Interesting reflex. When they're taking a nap underneath the water and it's time for them to get a breath of air, they're going to automatically lift their head up, get that breath of air, and lower their head right back down without even waking up. The pelicans around here are pinkback pelicans. They like to live in groups and colonies, as you can see. About an 8-foot wingspan. Hippos are largely nocturnal. They're going to come in onto land at night in order to graze upon the grass that's along the riverside. One hippo in one night can have about 150 pounds worth of vegetation. Helps them get up to that max size, about 5,000 pounds. You know, give or take 500 pounds. I can see another hippo taking a nap down there to the left. We can keep on moving. Now we're going to be crossing the Riccio Bridge, and those are Nile crocodiles down there. Nile crocs grow 18 to 20 feet long with a jaw strength of more than 2,000 pounds per square inch. Can and will take down prey like zebra wildebeest. A lot of times you see them with their jaws open. It just helps them regulate their body temperature. Gorgeous animals. Let's go. We are transitioning from one ecosystem to another, leaving the Safi River, making our way to the savannah. Different ecosystems mean different plant life and animal life. We're going to go see what we can find. Coming up on the right here, this is going to be a baobab tree. It'll stay leafless 9 months out of the year, retain water during the hot drought months. Gets the nickname upside down tree. You can see why. Branches kind of look like their root system. We're going to see some more up ahead. More important stuff's going to be coming up right here. we're going to be coming up to one of the best views of the reserve. This is the Serengeti grasslands. The grasslands will spread for hundreds of miles across eastern Africa, act like a super highway for the animals like zebra wildebeest. Also home to some of the more popular ones like African elephants, lions, giraffes. It's just a small snapshot of the Africa that we all work together in order to conserve and protect. Looks like you can see some giraffes off in the very far distance, so we're going to make our way towards them, try and get a nice close view. See what else we can find along the way. Looks like you can see some activity off in the distance. Fittingly enough, group of giraffes called the Tower. Makes sense, the kind of tower off there.
Oh, here's some. Never mind.
Now, large earthen mounds around here are termite mounds, hard as concrete. Elephants love using them as a scratching post. And then as they've been worn down over time, kind of like some of those to the right, you're going to see smaller animals like springbok, Thompson's gazelle climb on top of them, use them as a lookout point. Any predators might be trying to hide in the grass. Coming up on the left, one of my absolute favorite animals right here. These are African painted dogs. Now, African painted dogs may be cute, but they're one of Africa's most successful hunters. They're going to work together in packs to take down prey, and one of their techniques is just to kind of keep chasing the prey till it falls down from exertion. They have a 90% success rate compared to a lion's 20% success rate. Now, because of that, their eating style is different from other apex predators like lions or hyenas. The old, the sick, and the young feed first before the healthy to take care of them. Brown and white antelope to the left there, those are sable antelope. Ever charged out by a predator, drop to their knees and lower their 5-foot-long horns to defend themselves. You can always tell the most dominant sable in the herd based off of whoever has the darkest coat, male or female. Most of the activity looks like it's up ahead, but you can really see a lot of signs of activity around here. A lot of trees that have fallen down. Well, elephants will do that. And just knock the trees down so they can get to the vegetation at the top. Giraffes, of course, will eat the undersides of the trees, which will let light in. You can always tell the tallest giraffe in the area based off of how low the vegetation is hanging. Notice it's all kind of the same height. Zebra and antelopes then work together in order to move down the grass, which will let little nibblers like gazelles, warthogs, springboks from up the edges. In a truly balanced ecosystem, plenty of food for everyone to eat. Fittingly enough, group of giraffes are called the Tower, so good sized tower over here. Give you a little bit of a better understanding about giraffes. There are multiple different subspecies. How you tell the difference is the pattern that they have and the build that they have. Not all giraffes are going to be the same height. Off to the right, might be able to see those cattle there with the extremely large horns near the giraffes. Those are Ankole cattle. The horns that they have around 5 to 6 feet long from tip to tip. They circulate blood around the horns to help regulate their body temperature, kind of like a natural radiator.
Well, maybe they're coming across the road.
Number of herds around here, including the Tower.
They're crossing the road.
Try and get as good position as we can. Nice close through the Ankole cattle. The giraffe coming up on the right might be able to start to see that pattern, how it's a dark, jagged leafed edge pattern. This is going to be a Maasai giraffe. Small little gazelles off to the right with the black racing stripes, springbok, full-grown adults. Grayish animals are wildebeest, one of the animals that participate in the largest land animal migrations in Africa.
Oh, look at him.
Now, the average pregnancy of a giraffe is around 14 months, and babies are born around 5 to 6 feet tall. Then they get up to an average adult height around 18 to 20 feet, making them one of the tallest living land animals. Fittingly enough, group of giraffes are called the Tower, like I said, and you can kind of see they're all kind of just kind of chowing down. Giraffes like to eat a lot. They're going to eat around 18 to 20 hours a day. They only need about like 30 minutes of sleep, and they really just kind of break it up into 2 to 5 minute power naps.
I've never seen that many giraffes.
Alright, we're going to be making our way towards elephant country. One of the ways that we can tell, a lot more fallen trees around here. Yeah, elephants will knock down trees, like I said. You can kind of see it's a good amount of them. There's a watering hole up ahead I'd like to check out. So we're going to see if there's any activity or signs of activity. See if our luck holds out. We've been doing good so far. Oh, and I can see an elephant right up ahead. You can see it through the brush, so we're going to have to roll up to it. You start to see it up there to the right.
Yes.
Right through the bush. Now, elephants are social creatures. Females and their young stay together for almost an entire lifetime. Male elephants, on the other hand, when they're getting older, around 13 to 15, they're going to go off on their own or stick together with other male elephants in loose herds. So if you ever see like young elephants around, usually a predominantly female herd. Ooh, it's got a giant stick. Alright, so with this elephant around, we're going to make our way over towards the red clay pits. It's kind of like this gathering place for elephants.
That one is mud.
Predominantly female herds are a matriarchal-based society with the oldest and wisest female in charge. She's going to tell the herd where to go for food, where to go for water, all important information, especially during the drought season. That's why it's so critically important to protect elephants as much as possible. If the matriarch is ever taken down, it could lead to the detriment of the entire herd. Sadly, on average, about 96 elephants a day are taken out by either poachers or other various conflicts. From the tusk marks, we can see that elephants have been here. They eat red clay. It gives them beneficial minerals they don't normally get from their daily diet. You know how we take vitamin pills? Yeah, it's the same thing for an elephant. Currently, right now, we do have researchers working on the reserve. They're studying the elephants' vocal patterns. We're hoping that by understanding how they communicate, we can better protect them out in the wild. And we made headway, figured out that elephants don't like the sound of bees. So they handle that conflict and they're going into farmers' land, eating the crops, which is causing contentions, and sadly, sometimes elephant life is lost. Well, with the beehive fences that are being made, elephants are staying away. The farmers still have their crops, and they also get a cash crop from the honey. So it's like this literal win-win for both sides. Beautiful clear view of these elephants on the left here. Now, a lot of times you see elephants throwing dust, mud, or dirt on their back. Got sensitive skin, just like us. Just trying to protect themselves from the hot sun like a natural sunblock.
Yeah, it's like
Left, right there, you can get a good clear view of them.
$40.
A person, yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna hand you. Coming up to a flock of greater flamingos here. Greater flamingos are the lightest pink and largest of the flamingos. And they get that pink coloration from the beta carotene, which is in the crustaceans that they eat. When a flamingo is hatched, it's all gray. And then as it gets older, the gray feathers turn pink. It takes about 1 to 2 years that to start happening. That to the left is my absolute favorite view. Elephant, tree, water, flamingos.
Make it happen if you remember.
And I could give or take the truck.
It'll go around.
Gotta sit down back there. Alright, we're going to be rolling into rhino territory. It does get its name for the amount of rhino activity that's usually seen around here, so I'm kind of be on the lookout. Of course, I don't see any rhinos, but you can't really miss them either. Well, they've been by here. How we can tell? You can see they've been rolling around in the mud, rubbing against the trees and the rocks. Yeah, if they're not too far away, we could catch up to them. The reason rhinos are rolled around the mud, same principle as elephants. It's going to protect their skin from the hot sun. It's going to cool them down. It'll also protect their skin from any insects as well. I am seeing a lot of fresh rhino tracks, so that is a very good sign. Always have to check them in amongst the brush to see if they're laying down, because when they do, they look like giant rocks. Okay, I can see some movement up ahead. It's not a rhino, but it's something that's really fast. Yeah, it's on the move. I can also see the copies to the right through the brush, so we're definitely going to head up that way. Yep. Looks like 3 cheetahs over to the left, 2 laying down and 1 walking around. Now, we know cheetahs are fast. They are a daytime-based hunter. They're going to use their eyesight for hunting instead of their sense of smell. They are one of the few big cats that can purr. I don't suggest going up there and checking it out, but they can do it. They also have non-retractable claws, so what's that going to do? Well, that's going to help them grip the ground, get up to that speed faster, and also keep that traction while running at that top speed. Kind of think like soccer cleats. We're coming up to the Copies. The rocks will jut out of the savanna. Predators like lions love to use them as a lookout point. I'm not seeing anything on this side of the rock, so we're going to loop around, check the other side. We often give the traits of like strength and courage to lions, but they've been hit hard. The numbers rolled in, and it looks like there's only 20,000 lions left in all of Africa. That's not a lot, and the conflict that they're facing is a livestock conflict. We have the livestock of the farmers, and the farmers are getting retribution. Thankfully, with the help of conservation groups and using the idea of what's called living walls, acacia trees, and fencing to protect the livestock. In some areas, it has dropped the conflict, but that's really just some areas. We all need to work together to protect lions, so we don't lose one of the icons of Africa for forever. Perfect timing, male and female lion lay down up to the left, right up there. Now, I'll roll up position so we can get a good view. Now, female lions will do the majority of the hunting for the pride. They're pack hunters, love to work together in order to take down the prey. While the male lion, if there are no cubs, he can help out with the hunting. But if there are cubs, he has to stay back, and he has to protect them, the cubs, and the territory. It's absolutely crucial to the survival of the pride. There is a female lion all at the top of the rocks up there. You can see her laying down.
Where? Oh, wow. Yeah. I bet it feels good run on that rock.
Looks like I can see some warthogs out and about coming up ahead here. They're coming up on the left. Warthogs, the largest burrowing animal, ever feel threatened, back themselves into a burrow to have the sharp tusks jutting out to protect themselves. I wouldn't call them puma to their face, because in Swahili, that means foolish. Looks like we're going to be able to get a view of some white rhinos up ahead. How white rhinos get their name confusion of the Afrikaans word weit. Translates to wide for the wide mouth that they have. Brown and white eagle to the right, bot to bot. Coat has a purplish tinge to it. As beautiful animals as rhinos are, they're still being heavily poached, for the horns highly valued on the black market. Some ostrich eggs off to the right there. One of the eggs weigh about 3 to 4 pounds. Ostriches don't like to leave them alone too long. Don't worry about the eggs, they're incredibly strong. A human adult male can sit on an ostrich egg and it wouldn't break.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're kind of cute, aren't they? Oh, wow.
I'm going to be making our way into a newer portion of our reserve. This will be the Magadi Glen. It was donated to the reserve by local farmers to help out with conservation efforts, reintroduction, rehabilitation. So you never know what's going to be around here. Keep a lookout. Not seeing anything, so we're going to keep on moving. Now, with the gate coming up ahead means we'll be making our way back to the Warden Station. We'll be dropping you off at. As we've been going along, we got to see a lot of amazing animals. We got to talk about the conservation work for elephants, rhinos, lions. A lot of times people wonder at home what they can do to help these animals out specifically. Well, the first step is research. Everyone has a favorite animal in the reserve. Research the animal, find out what conservation work is being done for that animal, and what help you can give to the conservation groups for that animal. The other thing is going to be recycling, but what exactly? Well, old cell phones, laptops, computers, electronics, all of them have a mineral in them called coltan that's currently being heavily mined here in Africa. The more we're able to recycle those items, the less land is taken away from the animals, and then we can do what Harambe means in Swahili, come together. We can come together, work together, to be able to help protect these animals, so that they'll be available for future generations to enjoy in the wild. Now we're going to cut right through here. I'll be dropping you off at the nearest Warden Station. From there, it'll just be a short walk back to Harambe Village. But if you are interested in any other up-close animal encounters, you can always try Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. Heard there's a group of researchers studying a family of lowland gorillas that are in the area. There's a meerkat lookout point, an underwater hippo viewing area, and then one of the research stations, there's a colony of naked mole rats. Always need to check out. Here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye to newfound friends just because it's so sad and final. Like to use a Swahili word when